Monsieur Todorović.
Mr. Todorović, we have given you as much time as you needed in order to consult with your counsel. We thought that we would read the indictment. What is your opinion after you've spoken with Mr. Neshkovich, your counsel? What is your opinion?
Your Honors, I wish to thank you for giving me this opportunity to consult with my counsel. I informed you yesterday in writing that I'm not feeling well. I hope you received that letter. I do not feel capable of following the reading of the indictment, so if the counsel could read it to me when I am in a better condition, because I would like to lie down a while because I still am feeling pain and dizziness. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to consult with my colleagues.
Oui,
The tribunal has noted your opinion, Mr. Todorović, but in view of everything that was revealed with having to do with the medical condition with your right and also with your approval, and said it is your right, we're not going to ask you to plead guilty or not guilty since you're tired, and we can do that another time. However, since this is a public hearing, we are going to read the indictment, that is the relevant parts that concern you, and then we will adjourn for another initial appearance when the tribunal will know that the indictment has been read, which is a basic document, and you must have heard it, because apparently we were not able to give it to you before that. Therefore, I will now ask the registrar to read the relevant parts. We're only going to read those relevant parts of the indictment that deal with you, and then we will adjourn. You will provisionally be noted as having pleaded not guilty, and then we will have a further initial appearance in which, once you are completely better, you will be able to express an opinion as to each of the charges. Registrar, read the general parts of the indictment and then only the relevant part, which has to do with Mr. Todorović. If you don't feel well, Mr. Todorović, you will ask the reading to be interrupted, although we do hope that it can be read until the end. The prosecutor of the tribunal against Slobodan Milković alias Lugar, Blago Simić, Milan Simić, Miroslav Tadić, alias Miro Birko, Stevan Todorović, alias Steve, alias Stevo, alias Monstrum, Simo Zaric, alias Asholia. As regards Blago Simić, Milan Simić, and Mr. Such were part of a new indictment which was confirmed on the 25th of August and whose initial appearance already took place on the 3rd of September 1988. Indictment. Richard J. Golson, prosecutor of the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, pursuant to his authority under Article 18 of the Statute of the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, Tribunal Statute charges. 1. In 1991, almost 17,000 Bosnian Croats and Muslims, of a total population of about 33,000, lived in the municipality of Bosanski Shamac in the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. By May 1995, fewer than 300 of the Bosnian Croat and Muslim residents remained. 2. On 17 April 1992, Serb military forces from Bosnia and elsewhere in the former Yugoslavia seized control of the town of Bosanski Shamac. 3. Because of its location at the northwestern edge of the Posavina corridor, control of Bosanski Shamac was important to Serb efforts to create a Serb-controlled land bridge between Serbia and the Krajina Serbs in Croatia and western Bosnia and Herzegovina. 4. After seizing control in the military takeover, Serb authorities undertook a campaign of terror designed to force most Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim residents to leave the area. 5. Beginning on 17 April 1992, Serb military and political authorities coordinated and carried out the following actions as part of that campaign of terror. A. Arrested and detained most of the Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim men in the municipality, particularly the political, economic, professional, academic, and civic leaders. B. Established and operated, primarily under the authority of the Serb police, detention camps where prisoners were killed, beaten, tortured, sexually assaulted, and otherwise mistreated. C. Permitted units of paramilitary soldiers from Serbia to enter the detention camps to kill and beat the prisoners. D. Forced Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim residents to leave their homes and permitted Serb residents to move into the vacated houses. E. Expelled through force or intimidation Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim residents of the municipality to other countries and other parts of Bosnia and Herzegovina. F. Required Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim men, women, and children to work on forced labor projects, such as digging trenches and other work at military confrontation lines. G. Robbed Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim residents of their cars, cash, and valuables, and looted their homes. H. Looted and dismantled equipment and inventories from Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim businesses. I. Issued orders prohibiting Bosnian Croats and Muslims from congregating in public and requiring Bosnian Croats and Muslims to wear white armbands to identify themselves as non-Serbs. J. Confiscated the bank accounts of many Bosnian Croats and Muslims and blocked the funds in those accounts. K. Mobilized Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim men into the Bosnian Serb army and sent them to the front lines. L. Created such an atmosphere of fear and oppression among the non-Serb population that most Bosnian, Croat, and Muslim residents fled the area. The accused. For 6, go directly to the accused. The accused. 10. Stevan Todorović, also known as Steve, Stevo, or Monstrum, born in 1957, from Donja Slatina, Bosanski Shamac municipality, was appointed chief of police for Bosanski Shamac after the 17 April 1992 military takeover. Before then, Stevan Todorović was an executive in a bamboo furniture factory. General allegations. 12. Unless otherwise set forth below, all acts and omissions alleged in this indictment took place between about 17 April and 20 November 1992 in Bosanski Shamac municipality in the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina in the territory of the former Yugoslavia. 13. At all times relevant to this indictment, a state of armed conflict and partial occupation existed in the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. 14. At all times relevant to this indictment, all persons described in this indictment as victims were protected by the Geneva Conventions of 1949. 15. At all times relevant to this indictment, all of the accused in this indictment were required to abide by the laws and customs governing the conduct of war, including the Geneva Conventions of 1949. 16. In each paragraph of this indictment charging torture, the acts were committed by, or at the instigation of, or with the consent or acquiescence of, an official or person acting in an official capacity, and for one or more of the following purposes: to obtain information or a confession from the victim or a third person, to punish the victim for an act the victim or a third person committed or was suspected of having committed, to intimidate or coerce the victim or a third person, and or for any reason based upon discrimination of any kind. 17.
All admissions charged as crimes against humanity were part of a widespread, systematic, or large-scale attack against the Croat and Muslim residents of the municipality of Bosanski Shamac. 18. Each of the accused is individually responsible for the crimes alleged against him in this indictment, pursuant to Article 7.1 of the Tribunal Statute. Individual criminal liability includes committing, planning, initiating, ordering, or aiding and abetting in the planning, preparation, or execution of any crime referred to in Articles 2 to 5 of the Tribunal Statute. 19. Paragraphs 12 through 18 are realleged and incorporated into each of the charges set forth below. Mr. Registrar, leave out the counts that do not directly affect the accused, except those that affect him indirectly. So, counts 27 to 29. Killing of Anto Brandic, 28. On about the 29th of July, 1992, in the hallway of the SUP building in Bosanski Shamac, Stevan Todorović and others killed Anto Brandic, also known as Antasha, by repeatedly beating and kicking him with police batons and heavy boots. By these actions, Stevan Todorović committed or otherwise aided and abetted count 27, a grave breach recognized by Article 2A, willful killing of the Tribunal Statute, count 28, a violation of the laws or customs of war recognized by Article 3 of the Tribunal Statute, and Article 3.1a, murder of the Geneva Conventions. Count 29, a crime against humanity recognized by Article 5a, murder of the Tribunal Statute. Counts 30 to 32, beatings in the SUP building. 29. On about the 29th of July 1992, in the hallway of the SUP building in Bosanski Shamac, Stevan Todorović and others repeatedly beat and kicked Enver Ibralić, Hasan Jasharević, Omer Nalić, and Father Jozo Puškarić with police batons and heavy boots, thereby causing the victim's physical injury. By these actions, Stevan Todorović committed or otherwise aided and abetted count 30, a grave breach, willfully causing great suffering, recognized by Article 2C of the Tribunal Statute, count 31, a violation of the laws or customs of war recognized by Article 3 of the Tribunal Statute, and Article 3.1a, cruel treatment of the Geneva Conventions. Count 32, a crime against humanity recognized by Article 5I, inhumane acts of the Tribunal Statute. Counts 33 to 35, beating of Silvestar Antunović. 30. On about the 15th of July, 1992, in the gymnasium of the Bosanski Shamac Primary School, Stevan Todorović and others repeatedly beat Silvestar Antunović with a large wooden club. As a result of the beating, Silvestar Antunović suffered partial paralysis and other serious physical injury. By these actions, Stevan Todorović committed or otherwise aided and abetted, count 33, a grave breach recognized by Article 2C, willfully causing great suffering of the Tribunal Statute, count 34, a violation of the laws or customs of war recognized by Article 3 of the Tribunal Statute, and Article 3.1a, cruel treatment of the Geneva Conventions, count 35, a crime against humanity recognized by Article 5I, inhumane acts of the Tribunal Statute. Counts 36 to 38, sexual assault, 31. On about the 13th of June 1992, in the hallway of the Bosanski Shamac SUP building, Stevan Todorović forced witness A and witness B to perform sexual acts upon each other in the presence of several other prisoners and guards. By these actions, Stevan Todorović instigated, ordered, and committed Count 36, a grave breach recognized by Article 2b, inhuman treatment of the Tribunal Statute. Count 37, a violation of the laws or customs of war recognized by Article 3 of the Tribunal Statute and Article 31c, humiliating and degrading treatment of the Geneva Conventions. Count 38, a crime against humanity recognized by Article 5g, rape, which includes other forms of sexual assault, of the Tribunal Statute. Counts 39 to 41, torture of Omer Nalic. 32, on about the 19th of June, 1992, at the Bosanski Shamac Primary School, while questioning Omer Nalic about a radio transmitter, Stevan Todorović ordered 3 men to beat Omer Nalic. By these actions, Stevan Todorović instigated, ordered, committed, or aided and abetted Count 39, a grave breach recognized by Article 2b, torture, of the Tribunal Statute. Count 40, a violation of the laws or customs of war recognized by Article 3 of the Tribunal Statute and Article 31a, torture, of the Geneva Conventions. Count 41, a crime against humanity recognized by Article 5f, torture, of the Tribunal Statute. Concerning counts 42 to 56, these refer, excuse me, Mr. Registrar, these counts do not directly affect your client, Mr. Neshkovich, but I would like paragraphs 33 and 34 to be read because the prosecutor is alleging certain links of authority, and at this stage they should be read. Mr. Registrar, do not read 42 to 56, but only paragraphs 33 and 34 for the benefit of the defense. 33. After about the 17th of April 1992, Blagoje Simic was the highest-ranking civilian official in the municipality of Bosanski Shamac, and as such was in a position of superior authority to Stevan Todorović, the newly appointed Serb chief of police. 34. With respect to the acts and omissions of Stevan Todorović set forth in this indictment, Blagoje Simic knew or had reason to know that Stevan Todorović was about to commit such acts or had done so, and Blagoje Simic failed to take the necessary and reasonable measures to prevent such acts or to punish Stevan Todorović. By these acts or omissions, Blagoje Simic was criminally responsible for the actions of Stevan Todorović. This is an indictment signed by Richard Goldstone on the 21st of June 95 and confirmed by Judge Vora on the 25th of June 95. Mr. Neshkovich and Mr. Todorović, we are now going to adjourn. The tribunal is now assured that the reading that should have been done in the previous days has been done. The initial appearance at which your client will be called upon to plead guilty or not guilty will, after the possible medical treatment, which will be arranged by the registry, when your client will be capable of pleading guilty or not guilty on each count. In principle, we will not be rereading the indictment, except if Mr. Todorović wishes the indictment to be reread. For the moment, Mr. Registrar, I would like it to be noted that at the present stage, Mr. Todorović pleads not guilty, but it should also be recorded that he wanted to abstain. But this is for the full implementation of the articles, relevant articles of the rules of procedure. We will be hearing Mr. Todorović's plea after consulting his defense counsel, and then we will organize the continuation of the proceedings, taking into account what has already been done. In this particular case, the three other accused that are in detention in the detention unit in Scheveningen. I wish to remind you that I have already appointed a pretrial judge, which will be Judge Rodriguez. And now, according to the new rules, this instance will ensure the more expeditious preparation of trial. And we will, of course, organize all the other dates and schedules regarding disclosure and everything else. We would have had a status conference today concerning Simić, Tadić, Zarić, and in agreement with Judge Rodriguez and Judge Riyad, we preferred to postpone that status conference until after the initial appearance of the new accused, who is here present, Mr. Todorović. Before closing, I turn to Mr. Nešković. Have you any comments to make regarding what has been said or anything else? Microphone, please. Mr. President, for the present, I have no questions. I see that you have taken note of everything that we have said so far, and I hope that Mr. Todorović will be able to plead the next time when his condition improves. In view of the fact that you've mentioned the other three accused linked to this indictment, I hope that the schedule of trial will not affect the quality of the defense of Mr. Todorović. That is, that he will have sufficient time to prepare his defense. Thank you. Mr. Prosecutor, do you have anything to add?
Your Honor. Monsieur Todorović.
Mr. Todorović, I should like to give you the floor last. I hope you're not feeling too unwell. You will be taken care of by the doctors. Have you anything to add to this trial chamber and to what has been said by your counsel? I have nothing to add. I wish to thank you for your understanding for my condition, and I hope that it will improve after medical treatment. Very well. In that case, the hearing is adjourned, and a date will be set in accordance with the prosecutor, the defense counsel, and the state of health of the accused, and the registry will notify us, all of us, of that new initial appearance. The hearing is adjourned.